What is up, plant homies? I'm in my room like always, and today we're gonna do a little random video. People have been seeming to like the Monstera videos, so we're sticking with that theme. We have some other type of videos coming up, but they're in the making. They've been in the making for like a month or two. So there's like 3 videos stacked, and those will be coming out shortly, so don't you worry. Little begonia video, a little grafting video, and I forget what else is new. Maybe I'll do an update video. Let me know if you guys want to see an update video on the previous videos, like if I take cuttings from something and that was like a month ago. Do you want me to do update videos showing everything? Kind of like the orchids. When I did the orchid video, nothing had flowers, and now everything is flowering. But yeah, let me know what you want to do with the update videos. But for today, we're going to be doing a video on Monsteras again. Also, I want to start by saying if you have a grow space and you're in Southern California and you want to show it off, hit me up. I keep saying this in videos, but no one hits me up. I want to show off other people's grow spaces besides mine. It doesn't matter if it's like cactuses, houseplants, trees like Japanese maples, bonsais, whatever you got. Let's make a video at your grow space and show it off. I want to show some different techniques people have and just some different things people are growing, and maybe get some tips from other people besides me. But yeah, let's get into it. All right, we do a lot of videos about variegation and different types of variegation and colors and everything like that. But I figured today we would do a video on regular type Monsteras that have a little bit different shaped leaves, or like leaf mutations like contorted and stuff like that. But today I think we'll stick to the green stuff, the pretty normal stuff, and see how you guys like that. These Monsteras are also usually more affordable. Sometimes if they're like brand new, like I've seen that guy Kunzo, who also created the white monster like we talked about in the other video, has a new one called Satan's Claw, and that one is probably more expensive. I'll see if I can find a picture of it and pop it up on the screen for you. But most stuff like we're gonna talk about today is relatively affordable. I guess it depends where you are in your plant journey, but like this one I'm about to show, I usually sell for $100 to $150, and this is the Monstera SIERRANA. I think that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, basically it just has larger slits in the leaves, like you can see right here. They almost go all the way to like this middle vein part. So it's a little bit different and a little bit more unique than your normal Monstera, which is pretty awesome. And these I sell usually for $100 to like $150 at this size. And you can see it's like a pretty decent size. It's fully rooted. And yeah, these are one of the first like green leaf mutations I got. There's a Mexican form and a Hawaiian form. This is supposed to be the Mexican form, but when I first got it, I think it was like $200 or $300 for a 1-leaf cutting. And now I've sold like 10 of these plants, and they usually sell out pretty fast. You can see the first leaves look pretty darn normal when they come out, and then they start to change. You can see the slits go in deep, and the really mature plants, these slits are really deep and there's lots of them. It almost looks like bones or something. I'll pop a picture on the screen so you can see what a mature one looks like. I am going to plant a few Monsteras outside this year, and I think this is gonna be one of them. So if you're new to plants, or if you're new to Monsteras, or just not a variegation person, check out the Monstera SIERRANA. It is one of my favies, and I think you will like it too. It is a must-have to add to your collection. If there's a variegated one, I definitely would have the variegated one, but I haven't found one of those yet. But right now, I have the Monstera SIERRANA, supposedly the Mexican form. I've seen so much conflicting information about the Hawaiian and the Mexican form. And one of my friends, Jerry, gave me a SIERRANA, which I'll show you in a second. And he said that is the Mexican form, and this one's a Mexican form, and they look completely different. He doesn't grow his under as strong of lights. You can see like the stem here is super compact. The nodes are just stacked on top of each other. Let me take this little brown sheath out, but you can see the nodes are super stacked on top of each other. There's just a teeny space there, but yeah, his are a lot more spread out. It might be just because of the lighting, like I mentioned, but yeah, I'm still kind of learning that. I haven't found a Monstera SIERRANA expert to explain the difference to me, because when I look up the differences and then I look at mine and his, it gets a little bit confusing. Mine and the one Jerry gave me, it gets a little bit confusing. But yeah, if you are an expert on these SIERRANA and you know the difference, comment down below so maybe you can teach us a thing or two. But either way, these are awesome plants. Let me show you the one Jerry gave me, and then we will move on. I think I have like at least 3, but one I took cuttings from and it's just getting a new leaf, so it's kind of in rough shape. And then I have like a super secret one that I will flash and just show you guys a little bit about. I put it in other videos, but yeah, let's get to the one that Jerry gave me. All right, here's the one from my new friend Jerry. Shout out to him for hooking this up. We kind of did a little plant trade and gave each other some things that we liked, and he ended up giving me this for free. What a real G. Shout out to you. I know he watches the videos, so I know you see this. Thank you again. You are the man. But yeah, check this out. This is getting more close. Even though it's a way smaller leaf, these are more of what the mature leaves look like. You can see the slits go really deep on these guys. Nothing like I guess it kind of does look like a normal Monstera, but you can totally tell the difference. And when they get the holes, the fenestrations, you can totally see the difference, because they just get little holes, and these slits go almost all the way to this vein like I was saying, but they get even more dramatic than this. I'm sure I popped up a picture already, but yeah, you can see these are supposed to be the same forms, and you can see this is a lot stretched out here where my finger is compared to the one I have. And it also started going down to a regular leaf. I think that's just because he grows his stuff in lower lights. But I think this is the one I'm gonna plant outside this year, so we will see what happens. But I just wanted to show this one because you can see a little bit what a mature leaf will look like. The super slit guy here, and these are awesome. The Monstera SIERRANA Mexican form. All right, you notice I have a hood on in this video. That's because in Southern California, we finally got some cold days. It finally dipped down into the 40s at night, and my room is a little bit cold, to be honest. But yes, I moved a little bit closer to the camera because I just took some cuttings from this one not too long ago, and it's just getting some new growth back. This is the Monstera MACROCOSM. It's also another one from Kunzo, but you can see this one's a little bit more dramatic than the SIERRANA. You can see on this just where the one leaf pops out, that slit goes super deep, and it's also super wide. So like the hole is extra wide compared to the SIERRANA. I don't know why it's called MACROCOSM, to be honest. I haven't really looked into that, but they are super awesome. It's almost like, I don't even know how to explain it, to be honest, but you can see the slits. This one's not as deep because it's not fully a mature leaf, but you can see the hole that the slit makes is very, very big. I'll do a close-up on camera with this one, and I'll pop one up on screen so you can see the difference in a mature plant. This one is obviously more of a smaller baby right now, and it's also not under as strong as lights as my other ones. But yeah, these are a little bit more rare than the SIERRANA, but they are awesome. This is one of my favorite green leaf mutations for sure. Let me get a close-up for you. All right, so you can see on this baby leaf that hole is extra large, and these are super duper cool. This is the next one up. You can see the hole right here from here to here is just a lot wider than SIERRANA. This one's obviously a little bit skinny, but on the next leaf it's gonna be even more dramatic. And when these get big, they are super awesome. You can see I cut it before, I cut it right here, and this is the new one growing out of it off the side. But yeah, the MACROCOSM is another one of my favorite green leaf mutations, and another stunning Monstera from Kunzo. That guy really knows what he's doing. He makes some really cool plants. I don't know if he necessarily makes them, but he finds them in like sport variegation or seedlings, and then he propagates them himself and makes them popular. And the Macrocosm is another one that I like. He has a couple more that I haven't been able to get my hands on yet. Well, I can get them, but I've been spending my money on some other stuff. You know how that happens. I really like the variegated stuff, but these green leaf mutations also work their way into my collection. The Monstera Macrocosm. Alright guys, here is an honorable mention. We're not going to go into the variegated forms of mutated leaves, but this is a Tycon cup form. Supposedly it's also a compact form, but you can see the leaf kind of makes a bowl shape. So people call it the bowl or the cup. You can see by the side angle there. And this is a pretty cool Monstera form as well, the Tycon cup. But yeah, today we're sticking to the green leaf mutated forms. That was just a little honorable mention because it's in front of the Macrocosm on the shelf, so I had to move it out of the way, and I figured I'd show you guys that real quick. But let's move forward onto one, maybe two, maybe three more green leaf forms. All right, this one here is called the Monstera Compacta. It is another one from Kunzo. I actually got this one from Japan back in the day. It doesn't even really look like how it looked when I first bought it, so it's kind of confusing. It's definitely in rough shape. It's been sitting in the corner in my room for a very long time. You can see this leaf is turning yellow a little bit because the holes in the bottom of the pot are completely filled with roots. I don't know if you can see here, but this thing is jam-packed filled with roots. The water barely drains out the bottom anymore, which is a problem because it doesn't get as much air exchange as it should. You can see these giant roots are just growing out the top. I have to like force them back in. We got some ferns growing in there. We got some moss growing in there. But yeah, this is the Monstera Compacta. If I can turn it, here is one of the more mature leaves on it. And you can see it's like fully slit and the leaf is barely bigger than my hand. This is supposed to be like a dwarf form of Monstera, and I can show you the picture of one of the original ones from Kunzo. But like I was saying, over the years, mine has changed a little bit. I don't know if it's because I grow it under super high light and his are like originally grown in a greenhouse, I think. If any one of you have a compacta that looks more like this, post below and let me know what you think. But like I said, I got this straight from Japan. One of the characteristics of it back in the day when they were first coming out, maybe like 2 years ago, was that they came on big chunks like this big. The stems were like that big, and they had like 1 or 2 leaves growing out, like a new growth or like a top cut or whatever. But the stem was huge and they look like gnarly and brown. So this, I got like a chunk that was like this big from Japan with probably like 2 or 3 leaves on new growth popping out of it. And I've split it a whole bunch since then, and I've sold a whole bunch of these. And now since I grow it under super high light, the nodes are super that's what I meant. They came in like a super giant node, like 2 or 3 nodes was like super fat and like that big, and it was crazy looking. So I don't even know what I was saying. But this is a compacta now after I've had it for 2 or 3 years. They used to be super expensive and kind of hard to get. Like I literally got mine from Japan. I couldn't find any in the United States, and it was a little bit expensive when I first got it. Now you can find them for relatively cheap, and they come with a cool little Kunzo tag depending where you get them. Make sure you look for a legit one from a seller, and make sure it's like a decently priced one. I haven't looked into too many prices, but I know some people definitely overprice them. But yeah, these are super cool. They're supposed to stay like a more compact form, and once they get the little holes or the fenestrations in the leaf, they look like a giant Monstera leaf, but in a compact form, hence the name Compacta. These are super slow growers. I think when I first got it, it took like a couple months to get just the very first leaf on it, even though it was like fully rooted and everything. And I've had this one for like 2 or 3 years, and I probably sold like half the amount of since I've had the SIERRANA. Like if I compare those two side by side, the SIERRANA grows twice as fast as this guy. But yeah, it's a pretty cool plant. You can see literally I have small hands, and this leaf that's fully fenestrated is like the size of my hand, whereas on the SIERRANA it just has like a couple slits in it and it's like 2 or 3 times the size of my hand. So this one is the Monstera Compacta that needs to be desperately repotted, but this is also another cool one if you're into the green leaf monsteras. This is like a cool one you can display in your living room or something with a little pendant light above it. I like to grow everything with grow lights just because it looks cool, but obviously you can grow it in the window as well, and this should stay smaller for you. If anyone else out there has some experience with compactas, leave your experience with growing them down below, because this is one I honestly cut it as soon as I can because they were like selling so easily back in the day, but I've let this one grow for a while now and I haven't sold any. So this might be another one I'm looking to grow outside. Maybe I'll put it in like a 5-gallon pot this year and see what happens. But yeah, this one's definitely in need of a repot. The Monstera Compacta, another Kunzo creation. Look up Kunzo if you haven't done that yet. He has a super cool Instagram that you can follow. He has a lot of rare, unique plants because he's obviously been doing it for years and been able to collect a lot of stuff over the years. So if you're just getting into plants, or you've been into plants for a long time but you haven't heard of Kunzo, check it out. This is where my Compacta lives. Just for reference, it really is in like the deepest, darkest corner of my room. Not the darkest, but the deepest corner. There's another cool leaf mutation, one that's variegated, the ocean mint. And there is a little Medusa for you. Just some stuff to look into. All right, the next one we have is the Monstera Zombie. This one you can see is just getting a new leaf because I just sold like 3 or 4 cuttings from it. But if you check out the leaf before, all right, this is the leaf before that I almost broke in half. And as you can see, there is almost nothing there. The Monstera Zombie is one of the weirdest growing monsteras I've ever had. Like literally the first couple leaves sometimes come out like this, where it looks like it's just a twig. And then you'll get a nice crazy leaf like this. This is like the original leaf. That's why it looks so damaged and stuff. But you can see the shape on it is super duper unique. It doesn't even look like a Monstera. Just imagine if this was fully green and not all gross and yellow and crusty. But this is the shape that the Monstera zombies get. It's hard to find pictures online of mature ones, to be honest, but I'll see if I can find one and pop it up on the screen for you. But yeah, I wish this leaf was open so you could get a better idea of what they look like. I guess you could tell what they look like from the leaf I just showed. Just imagine it not all crusty. But you can also see they put off a lot of growths, almost like it's a tissue culture plant. You can see there's a growth coming out from this side, and then there's this new growth that came out, which is the leaf I was showing you. And then literally on the first node, there's already another new growth coming out. It's like it has like tissue culture media on it, and it just keeps sprouting growths over and over and over. So it's pretty cool. It can create like a bushy form plant, but it also gives you a lot to propagate. But this is another one that can be a slow grower because it just keeps pushing out so many growths. And it can be pretty trippy because if you get a leaf like this, you're like, uh-oh, what am I doing wrong? There's nothing there. And then the next leaf, boom, shaka laka, you get a cool one. So that is the Monstera Zombie. All right, here's a quick peek of a seedling I got a long time ago. I really don't know what to call it because the leaves change shape all the time. But here is an example of one of the leaves. They make like crazy bowl-shaped leaves, like legit bowls. And then some of the leaves come out and just the tips are pinched. like this one here. But yeah, just the tips are pinched like that, and then it's like a relatively kind of normal leaf. And then this leaf came out in the shape of a butterfly. They look a little crusty because I just repotted it. But we also have a new leaf coming out, and even when they come out, they look super weird, and then they evolve and change into something like this, or like the previous leaves. Another weird thing about this is they kind of grow like a bird of paradise. They grow just like straight up. They don't crawl or anything like that like normal monsteras. But yeah, I've never seen another one like this. I got this as a seedling a long time ago, and I've been growing it forever. I've never sold anything from it, but if you've seen one like this before, definitely let me know in the comments below. But this might be a one-of-a-kind monstera. I'm thinking of calling it butterfly because obviously the shape is almost like a butterfly on the newest leaf. I was gonna call it a different name before, but if the next leaf comes out like this, I'm definitely gonna call it butterfly because we're getting closer to a more mature leaf. But I still haven't got any fenestrations or holes or anything like that, so we'll see how it keeps changing. I think I'm gonna put this one outside this year so I can get it to grow faster and see what the mature leaf looks like. But yeah, that is my Monstera seedling that I've been growing out in secret. All right, plant homies, so that is gonna be it for today from the mutated green leaf Monstera. I hope you like this one. It's a little bit different because most of my plants videos have all variegation, and this is all normal green leaf monsteras. But yeah, if you like this video, comment down below, let me know what you think. If you have any ideas for future videos, let me know what you think. And if you're just a big fan of green leaf monsteras, comment down your favorite one below. There's a bunch that I don't have, like the lionfish. That's one that I really want to get. And there is the galaxy, I think it's called. It's another Kunzo one that I really want to get. It's like Galaxy K5 or something. I forget. Maybe I'll put the name up here, maybe not. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of really cool ones. There's another variegated one I want called Rib Cage. And then there's one green leaf one that's super cool. That's like the Monstera Medusa, but it's green leaf, and they call it Monstera Tattoo. I'll put a picture of that one on the screen. So there's a bunch of really cool green leaf monsteras that are more on the affordable side. If you're looking for something awesome, but you don't want to spend so much dang bread on plants. But yeah, let me know if you like this video. Give me some ideas for future videos. And that is all for now, plant homies. I will see you in the next one.